Today we attempt to start my S52 swap BMW E30 for the first time, something I've been dreaming about for years now. In the last video we made a ton of progress. We began swapping in the S52, one of the best engine swaps you can do for the E30 platform. We tackled a ton of stuff, like rust imperfections, reinforcement plates, suspension, brakes, the steering rack, you name it. Today we tackle everything else that's necessary to start the car.
Blur that out. What a surprise. You guys get another E30 episode and you don't have to wait 2 years for it. Maybe like a month, that's about it.
We don't know that yet.
It's definitely not gonna be 2 years. There's a ton of updates and a lot of things that has gone off camera because we're busy working on the new project car and other cars we have here at the shop. And Ali likes to just take things into his own hand. If we're not here, we're not available, he's still working on E30 because he wants to see the running. But at the moment, we're about to get the trans onto the car. Clutch installed. This is the one that we got from eBay like 2 years ago. It's probably gonna...
It's a little bit rusty. She'll work.
It's cheap. We just needed something to get the car up and running. Plus, it's not a big, a ton of power. Hopefully, it drives okay. The trans over here, which also came. Ali, did it come from the same E36 M3? I don't know. It came from something.
Well, it's a ZF5 speed, so we can say it came from the M3.
By the way, the giveaway is live for my wide body F30 335. Over $40,000 in mods installed, and it makes over 600 horsepower to the wheels. It's super easy to enter. Visit vehiclerouse.com or use the link down in the video's description. For every $5 spent on select merchandise items, you get one entry for a chance to win this beast of a car. Buy some merch and you may actually end up winning this car.
I got a makeover. It looks super clean. It didn't look this good.
It looked like a turd.
It didn't look anything like this.
It looked black.
Yeah, so it looks good. So yeah, you want to share what you did?
I polished it right here.
Just in the little spot right here.
Yep, just right here. That's it. That's all you get. Shift D10s, first, second, third, whatever. First, second, third, I don't know what order it is. And also the reverse and fifth gear, because these transmissions have a problem with shifting. We got a new shift fork. Also the pivot pin is a brass pin now, because the plastic one was just completely destroyed. New spring, new throw-up bearing. It's got some lube on there.
All right, let's put the transmission in.
Motor is very stiff. Can go up.
The heaviest 10 pounds ever.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Oh, satisfying. Yes, sir, guys. So much money has gone into this E30 build already, especially having to buy new parts like every other day. Ali goes, hey, you need this. Hey, you need this. Hey, you need this. $200, $300, $400, $200, $400. And we're probably gonna still need a lot more shit.
You're not wrong.
Just think, at the end, you'll have a brand new car. Everything will be new. The car might not be new, but everything else will be new.
It'll be like that 135, right? Engine looked really good, and then everything else was questionable.
Should we put a huge wing on the back? Just like shopping cart?
Shopping cart. All right, if there's one thing that I refuse not to do on the E30 build is run an AC. The original plan was we're gonna track the car, drift the car, AC, who cares, whatever. But then I thought about it, we're in Florida. And I'm way past those no AC days.
When I was first researching AC setups for my E30, it was clear that AC Solutions was the easiest all-you-need kit that I needed. In fact, I thought it was so amazing that I reached out to them so I can make some content. I wanted to make sure that everyone that was looking for an AC solution on their 24-valve E30 setup knew about this option. It legit comes with everything you need.
Condenser fan, the condenser itself, which looks very nice. This is actually supplied by CSF. Got all the AC lines, the bell. You got this really nice piece, the manifold. Billet, a very nice quality part. We got the expansion valve, the compressor, the filter dryer, the install kit, so it comes with all the brackets, all the hardware that you need.
I will make sure to link the kit and AC Solutions website down in the video's description.
I think the biggest challenge we're gonna run into, well actually there's probably two challenges. One If you guys remember, like 2 years ago, we redid the engine bay, shaved like everything that was originally in there, brackets, studs, everything. We shaved everything and we welded some pieces and painted over it. So we don't have any of the original brackets to install this AC system to, which is why we got the install kit and why we're gonna have to do some custom work to make it play out how it's supposed to be. The other issue that we might have, S52 swap in the engine bay, it's very tight in here. We have an E36 high performance radiator, which we had planned to run this entire time until we started mocking things up, and there's just not a ton of room. Trying to mock this up on the inside, it's not really doable.
That's not very good looking.
It doesn't clear. All right, so that's where the condenser goes, and this will go like that, like that.
So yeah, we have to figure out a bracket situation on this and see if this is enough to pull down the beefy radiator.
So you're saying a one fan solution?
Is all solution, like AC solution.
So that would kind of fix the clearance issues and then allow us to just run the fans with no problem. The fan. But if we want to keep this radiator, we're gonna have to get crafty over here.
Anyways, that's something to figure out after we get the car to start, which it's nowhere near.
The install is pretty straightforward. AC Solutions include instructions that are very easy to follow.
All right, so we're mocking up where everything goes. So we got one of the lines going up to the condenser and through the front section. You can see right here, the dry filter is gonna sit somewhere in this area here. So this line wraps around this way, and then it connects to the interior AC line that goes into where the glove box department is at. This is one of the two hoses that goes on the inside. One of them we already routed in there and pushed through the grommet on the firewall. So that would connect to one of the connectors on the left-hand side on it.
So this, usually you have this stupid shit on there. Take that off. If you remove this,
TXV, expansion valve.
yeah, whatever it's called. You remove the old one and you install the one that you get from AC Solutions. That's the way it goes.
Oh yeah, you saw how it turned brown? Parts of the line you didn't get. And there you have it, the inside lines. Connected, tightened, ready to go. Now we gotta move on to the engine bay part of the AC system.
Much later.
I'm just gonna go ahead and apologize. A lot of stuff has happened while I was not here. I was on daddy duty watching my son since he's on spring break. I come to the shop and a lot of this is like put together. It's definitely a lot more stuff than before.
I mean, the only thing I've done is complete the cooling system for the most part. We also have to figure out all this pasta wiring.
Yeah,
We just have to figure this out.
this is probably like the least fun part about doing these. Just figuring out all of that. Look at all this pasta right here.
This wiring is not necessary because it's a secondary O2s. We don't have those. And this is a fuel pressure regulator connection. We are not using the fuel pressure regulator that's factory. We're going to be using a radium adjustable one and set it to OEM spec, which is vacuum reference to the intake manifold. The starter wire also I had to remake because the E30 one was kind of janky. We don't have fuel as far as fuel lines, so we do have to make -6 fuel lines that go to the radium fuel rail, and then also figure out the intake situation.
Got the grommets here for the
For
the brake booster.
brake booster, we are using Chase Bay's front lines. We're gonna use just the factory rear lines. And also the brake booster itself is not mounted. It's just kind of just dangling right now. But as long as the motor starts, we can get everything here like buttoned up, put it back together. Then we can work with mounting the power steering, finishing up the AC, because obviously you need the motor to run to have AC. Do the fuel tank, because we don't have a fuel pump in the car. We just need to figure out how to adapt the -6 to the ancient, E30 lines. And once we get that figured out, car should start. Ta-da!
Yeah, and it's like right here, just hello, exposes.
After I tighten those fittings, we can technically do a pressure test. Don't drop.
100% hold level. Let's see if it holds it.
Gotta hold it for a minute.
Cheers.
Now it's time to attempt to start the E30, but without the fuel system fully installed. But we did have a fresh can of brake cleaner. I don't think we were getting spark. Something was wrong. So we connected our go-to scan tool. I know a lot of you guys always ask us what we use, so I'll make sure to link this one down in the video's description.
Let's not question what's going on over here.
Hey, bro. If it works, it works.
What's our fuel tank?
Bluetooth, bro.
Just hold the tank while you're in the passenger side. Similar to how we, held the nitrous bottle.
Hey, bro, we're coming full circle. Let's just hope nothing blows up this time.
This is pretty f***ing sketch.
In theory, it'll work. As long as the DME is doing what it needs to do.
Just admit it, I'm a genius. Right?
In
I'm
other
having a
words,
hard time understanding how this is a genius move.
Right?
Hey, it's better than brake cleaning and throttle body.
Your f***ing eyes must be lovely right now. Guys, this is why you gotta wear your safety glasses. He's rinsing his eyeballs with Dawn soap.
My man just
He looks
cried.
more Asian than normal.
OSHA approved, guys. Hey, we got pressure.
We also got fuel coming back. The return is working. This is working. Sick gauge, dog. Max power.
And this is when things get kind of annoying. Trying to figure out what is wrong and why the car doesn't want to power on. The power was fine, the fuel supply was fine, but the car didn't want to run. We spent hours trying to figure it all out through the process of elimination. We inspected the coils and then checked the spark plugs for spark. Could the DME be the issue? Well, we swapped it out for the one we deemed to be the correct one for the swap. Sadly, that didn't work neither. And after speaking to a few people and doing some research, we came to the conclusion that the DME needed to be properly coded. We got that done with our coder guy and tried to start the car one last time.
I'm like laughing off top of there. What the fuck is going on?
Yo!
This man was revving a cold engine.
That thing was screaming, bro.
Definitely need some exhaust.
Oh.
I bet it loud.
Hey, she runs, though.
Alright, we should have a better start now. We got some weird shit going on here temporarily.
Show them the custom intake. Why is it doing that, bro?
What's going on here? It wants to do the fucking meanest cold start in the world.
This engine hasn't ran in what, like 4 years, 5 years?
Whatever it is, it's trying to make up for all those years of not being on.
Last time, bro. God.
The world's meanest cold start, man.
Okay, if it goes to the moon, I'm turning it off. Jam my f***ing finger trying to turn that off.
Not the perfect first start, but it's a start. Like the video if you guys enjoyed it, and if you guys want to see another E30 video soon, subscribe if you haven't already, and as always, thanks for watching. Till next time.